I am Richard II, King of England, crowned as a mere boy in 1377 at the tender age of 10. My reign spanned tumultuous years, defined by ambition, conflict, and a ceaseless struggle to assert my authority in a realm rife with dissent. Let me take you through the journey of my life and reign, marked by moments of glory and betrayal. I was born on January 6, 1367, at Bordeaux in the Duchy of Aquitaine, the son of Edward, the Black Prince, and Joan of Kent. My father, a celebrated warrior, had won fame in the 100 Years' War, but his untimely death left me as the heir to the throne. When my grandfather, King Edward III, died, I ascended the throne, yet my youth made me reliant on regents and advisors who governed in my name. The early years of my reign were marred by unrest. In 1381, the Peasants Revolt erupted, driven by discontent over taxation and feudal oppression. I was just 14, yet I faced the angry mob at Mile End and later at Smithfield. With courage, I promised reforms to placate the rebels, though these promises were quickly rescinded. It was a lesson in the volatility of power and the necessity of maintaining control. As I grew older, I sought to assert my independence from my council and nobles. My court became a center of culture, elegance, and extravagance. I fancied myself a divine ruler, chosen by God, and I cultivated an image of majesty and refinement. Yet, my penchant for favoritism and my lavish spending sowed discord among the barons. I surrounded myself with loyalists like Robert de Vere, Earl of Oxford, whose elevation to Duke of Ireland angered the aristocracy. The tension between me and the magnates came to a head in 1387 when the Lords Appellant, a faction of powerful nobles, rose against me. They defeated my forces at Radcot Bridge and imposed their will upon me, executing many of my favorites. I was humiliated but bided my time, plotting my revenge. By 1389, I regained control of my government. I proclaimed a new era of reconciliation and ruled with moderation for several years. During this period, I worked to end the costly and draining conflict with France. In 1396, I secured a 28-year truce through my marriage to Isabella of Valois, a union that symbolized peace but was criticized due to her youth. She was only 6 years old. However, beneath this facade of stability, my resentment festered. I sought to consolidate power and punish those who had defied me. In 1397, I struck back against the Lords Appellant, arresting and executing or exiling them. My ruthlessness restored my authority, but it bred fear and hatred among my subjects. I ruled with increasing autocracy, relying on a small circle of advisors and imposing heavy taxation to fund my ambitions. My downfall began in 1399 when my cousin, Henry Bolingbroke, son of John of Gaunt, Duke of Lancaster, returned from exile. I had confiscated his inheritance after his father's death, a move that alienated many. Henry rallied support and invaded England while I was campaigning in Ireland. Abandoned by my allies, I was forced to surrender. In September 1399, I was deposed, and Henry ascended the throne as King Henry IV. My abdication was a bitter humiliation. I was imprisoned, first in the Tower of London and later at Pontefract Castle, where I met my end in early 1400. Some say I starved to death, while others whisper of murder. I was but a man striving to wield absolute power in a kingdom that resisted my grasp. My reign is remembered as a cautionary tale of hubris, ambition, and the peril of alienating those who hold the reins of power. Yet, I leave behind a legacy of cultural patronage, for it was during my reign that Geoffrey Chaucer penned the Canterbury Tales, and England saw the flowering of art and literature. Perhaps in history's judgment, my vision for kingship will not be entirely forgotten.